Northwood headquarters is a military base that has been used by the British Army since 1939. Well, today it's the Ministry of Defence's Strategic Military Command Centre covering the UK's 3 armed forces as well as NATO operations. But ministers have been told it could be under threat and that more needs to be done to protect it from both physical and cyber attacks. Our political correspondent Simon Harris has more.
Take a drive around Northwood and it's clear this is an affluent London suburb. But among the homes of the well-heeled, there's one property which stands out. Behind razor wire fences is the Permanent Joint Headquarters, a highly sensitive and secret military site. And the government's Strategic Defence Review has flagged significant warnings. The review says Northwood plays a vital role in military operations and needs better defences against both physical and cyber attacks. It also seems to question whether it should be here at all. The SDR says its current location poses unnecessary risks to the assured command of future UK military operations, including in defence of the UK itself.
The SDR has recognised that Northwood is no longer fit for purpose. It's convenient, it's popular, it's pleasant, but at the end of the day, we are in a situation, national security situation today where pleasantness has little value. We need to shore up our defence as much as we can.
Like many in Northwood, Laura talks fondly of the military base up the hill. They might not know what goes on there, but regard it as part of the community.
Northwood in general is quite a patriotic area, and I think that's part of it, having it there and knowing that it's a sense of safety as well, actually, just knowing that they're there, basically.
You'd be sad to see it go?
I think so, yeah. I think a lot of people in Northwood would be sad to see it go.
When the submarine HMS Conqueror came back from the Falklands War in 1982, it flew the Jolly Roger after sinking an Argentine battleship. The order to torpedo the Belgrano came from the bunker at Northwood. More recently, it's overseen military operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. Today, there are new enemies with new tactics, not least cyber warfare.
We have to take the defence of our homeland more seriously, and this review gives us the pointers to what we'll do, and it includes, for instance, the investment I've already committed to develop our cyber defence and offence and create a new cyber command.
The Strategic Defence Review said Northwood needed to be more resilient. The ministry said it was drawing up plans but didn't disclose whether moving the base was one of them. Simon Harris, ITV News, Northwood.
Good evening. 14-year-old Daniel Anjorin was walking to school in Hainault when he was killed by a man he'd never met. Marcus Monzo is on trial for his murder, accused of repeatedly stabbing the schoolboy with a samurai sword and attempting to murder 4 other people last April. At the Old Bailey today, the prosecution called it a brutal string of attacks that they say Monzo carried out while in a drug-induced psychotic state. Daniel's family say they have to process that their son and brother will never come home. Simon Harris has been following the prosecution's case against Monzo and warning his report contains distressing details of the attacks.
Daniel Anjorin didn't know his killer. He was on his way to school when, according to the prosecution, his life was snuffed out in an instant. He was killed, the Old Bailey was told, by Marcus Monzo, a 37-year-old man from Beckton in East London. Daniel was one of 6 people attacked by a man with a sword with a 2-foot-long blade over a period of 20 minutes at Hainault on the morning of April the 30th last year. The first victim that day was a man on his way to work at a local shop. The jury was shown a doorbell video of a grey van allegedly driven by Monzo ploughing into a man called Donato Iwule as he walked along a pavement. The prosecution barrister, Tom Little KC, said Monzo then attacked Mr Iwule with a sword, adding if he hadn't managed to escape, he too would have been killed. When Mr Iwule shouted at Monzo, "I don't know you," Monzo is said to have replied, "I don't care, I will kill you." The jury heard that he attacked a further 4 people, including a couple who were in bed with a 4-year-old child sleeping in the same room. 2 police officers who tried to arrest him were also wounded. Daniel was the only victim who didn't survive. According to the prosecution, Daniel was wearing headphones when Monzo attacked him from behind. He lifted the sword above his head and delivered what Mr Little called an unsurvivable chopping injury to his face and neck. As Daniel lay on the ground, he was attacked again. Mr Little said there is little doubt that the defendant was intending to kill as many people as he could that day. We say that the defendant's conduct was brought about by self-induced intoxication in the form of drugs. Monzo denies murdering Daniel and attempting to murder 4 other people. The trial continues next week. Simon Harris, ITV News at the Old Bailey.
Good evening. Eurostar's 3-decade-long stranglehold on international train services through the Channel Tunnel could be coming to an end. The Office of Rail and Road confirmed today it will allocate spare capacity at the company's Temple Mills maintenance depot in Leighton to either a new operator or Eurostar, assuming it expands its services. Several companies, including Virgin and Uber, have grand plans to run trains to Europe. And as our political correspondent Simon Harris reports, it could mean day trips to Marseille, Geneva or Milan very soon.
It's more than 3 decades since the start of Eurostar's monopoly, but now the only company to run passenger trains through the Channel Tunnel between London and Europe is facing competition. The rail regulator has offered companies like Virgin and Uber a glimmer of hope that they too can have a slice of the lucrative cross-channel market.
This will mean not only greater competition amongst those operators operating the services, but for passengers, this could really increase their choice of destinations in Europe.
Eurostar's London terminus has more than enough room for additional services. Eurostar currently runs around 30 trains a day to European destinations in France, Belgium and Holland. But the 6 platforms at St Pancras International could handle double that number, and rival train companies are keen to fill the void, if Eurostar would let them. The biggest obstacle has always been Eurostar's Temple Mills depot at Leighton in East London. It's the only one this side of the Channel which can handle intercontinental trains.
The issue of the Temple Mills depot is that Eurostar has until now had exclusive rights to it, but now that the Office of Rail and Road has said no, they must open it up, then there's a chance other operators will be able to use it.
A quick online search shows the cheapest one-way ticket from London to Paris next month is £51, but buying it at the last minute could cost up to £242.
Clearly they have been a monopoly provider there for more than a couple of decades, so I imagine they wouldn't want somebody else running services over their line. But I think from the perspective of the consumer, from passengers, I think this is an unambiguously good thing.
Passengers using St Pancras today were certainly keen to explore other train journeys.
Somewhere in Italy. Yes, yeah, that would like to do that, go all the way there.
Anywhere we could go, we would choose to go back to Italy, but that's a very long train ride.
Back to Florence.
For me, it would be Antwerp, because that's where I need to go for work and I need to change to get another train, so it would make it much easier.
Eurostar gave a qualified welcome to today's decision by the regulator, but with a cautionary rider saying there isn't sufficient space at the Temple Mills depot for all potential operators. Rival services could still be a few years away. Simon Harris, ITV News, Leighton.